The Midnight Watch. Segment 1. The High-Speed Pursuit. Midnight in the city. For most, it's a time for sleep. For the men and women in blue, it's when the shadows come alive. We begin our journey tonight on the outskirts of Detroit. Officer Sarah Jenkins is on a routine patrol when she spots a black SUV blowing through a red light. The driver isn't just speeding, he's fleeing. The chase escalates to 100 miles per hour. This isn't a movie. There are no stunt doubles. Every turn could be the last. Notice the officer's grip on the wheel, the calm within the chaos. Tactics are being discussed over the radio. Spikes are being deployed ahead. This is a game of high-speed chess where the stakes are life and death. Segment 2. The Tactical Takedown, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. The suspect tries to evade, but the backup has arrived. Clear for pit maneuver, the sergeant commands. Watch as the patrol car makes contact. The SUV spins. Smoke fills the air. This is the most dangerous moment. The unknown. Is the suspect armed? Are there others inside? Officer Jenkins exits her vehicle, weapon drawn but steady. The suspect is combative, screaming incoherent threats. It takes 3 officers to secure the cuffs. One situation neutralized, but the night is just beginning. In these moments, training takes over where fear leaves off. The suspect is searched, and a loaded weapon is found under the driver's seat. Another tragedy averted by split-second decisions. Segment 3. The Dark Alley Confrontation, 10 o'clock to 1500. 15 minutes later, across town. A call comes in for a suspicious individual behind a closed gas station. The caller reports seeing a firearm. Officer Miller arrives without sirens. The element of surprise is his only advantage. The body cam footage shows the grainy reality of a dark alleyway. Miller flickers his high beams. The suspect freezes. Notice the tactical positioning. Miller uses his car door as a shield. Sir, keep your hands where I can see them. The suspect reaches for his waistband. Time slows down. In this fraction of a second, a life hangs in the balance. The officer's heart rate is audible through the microphone. This is the raw tension of the graveyard shift. Segment 4. Restraint and Reality, 1500 to 2000. The suspect pulls out an object, but it's a replica, a BB gun. The danger was real, but the officer's restraint saved a life. Officer Miller doesn't react with anger, he reacts with professional discipline. He spends the next several minutes explaining to the young man just how close he came to a fatal mistake. This is the side of policing the news rarely shows, the patience, the education, and the immense relief when no one has to bleed. As part 1 of our 6-hour archive concludes, we see the suspect being processed and the officers preparing for the next call. Because on these streets, the next emergency is always just a radio call away. The second hour of our watch begins with a high-priority 911 call. Shots fired at an apartment complex on the east side. Officers arrive to find a scene of total confusion. Residents are fleeing, but the shooter is still inside. Watch the tactical stack as the officers approach the door. Every corner is a potential death trap. They aren't just looking for a suspect, they are looking for victims. The body cam captures the heavy breathing and the metallic click of safeties being switched off. This is the ultimate test of nerves. Suddenly, a door kicks open. Police, don't move. The suspect is pinned, but the adrenaline is still surging. Segment 6. Undercover sting goes wrong, 25-0030-00. Switching gears to an undercover operation. Plainclothes officers are attempting a buy bust for illegal narcotics. But something feels off. The suspect keeps looking at the unmarked van. In an instant, the deal turns into a robbery. The undercover officer is held at gunpoint. Watch how the tactical team moves in. It's a coordinated strike that happens in less than 10 seconds. Flashbangs ignite, creating a wall of white light and sound. The transition from a quiet conversation to a chaotic takedown is seamless. This is why teamwork is the backbone of the department. Segment 7. The hostage in the convenience store, 30-0035-00. A local convenience store becomes the stage for a desperate situation. A suspect, trapped by responding units, grabs a bystander. This is a hostage situation. Officer Davis, a trained negotiator, takes the lead. He has to balance authority with empathy. Talk to me, man. Tell me what's going on. The tension inside the store is suffocating. We see the suspect's hand shaking on the weapon. For 5 agonizing minutes, Davis talks the man down, inch by inch. This is the psychological battle that happens behind the badge, where words are more powerful than bullets. Segment 8. The high-speed highway crash, 35-0040-00. The intensity shifts back to the asphalt. A reckless driver, weaving through traffic, loses control at 90 miles per hour. The body cam footage shows the horrific aftermath of a high-speed collision. But the job isn't over. Officers have to pull the driver from the burning wreckage while managing the crowd and the incoming traffic. It's a race against the clock. Sparks fly as they use the jaws of life to pry open the crushed metal. In this moment, the officer is a first responder, a medic, and a protector all at once. As we close this segment, the ambulance sirens fade into the distance, leaving behind a scarred highway. A silent alarm is triggered at an abandoned industrial warehouse. It's 3 a.m. K9 units are the first on the scene. The body cam footage is eerily quiet, showing only the beam of a flashlight cutting through the dust. Police department, come out with your hands up, or I will release the dog. No answer. The dog is let off the leash. Within seconds, the silence is broken by barks and a scream from the rafters. A suspect was hiding in the shadows, waiting for the officers to pass. This segment shows the incredible precision of police canines and the danger of clearing large, dark structures. Segment 10. The Domestic Nightmare 45-0050-00. We transition to a residential neighborhood where a neighbor reported hearing a violent struggle. Domestic calls are statistically the most dangerous for officers because emotions are raw and unpredictable. As the officers enter, they are met with a barrage of shouting. A man is holding a baseball bat, refusing to listen to commands. Watch the officer's use of the taser, a non-lethal tool used to prevent a lethal outcome. The deployment is successful, and the suspect is neutralized without a single shot fired. It's a messy, difficult part of the job that requires immense patience. Segment 11. The Rooftop Chase 50-0055-00. A robbery suspect attempts a daring escape by climbing onto the roofs of a downtown shopping district. This isn't just a foot chase, it's a high-altitude pursuit. The body cam footage is shaky and intense as officers jump across gaps and navigate slippery ledges. One slip could be fatal. The suspect eventually finds himself cornered near a fire escape. The coordination between the officers on the ground and those on the roof is a masterclass in containment. This is adrenaline-pumping footage that shows the physical demands placed on modern law enforcement. Segment 12. The Shift Change 55-0060-00. As the sun begins to rise, the first hour of our documentary comes to a close. We see the officers returning to the station, their faces showing the toll of a long night. They process paperwork, log evidence, and debrief on the incidents we just witnessed. But the thin blue line never sleeps. As the night shift heads home, the day shift is already hitting the streets. This cycle of duty is what keeps the city moving. This concludes part 3. We have seen the chaos, the danger, and the restraint. But stay with us, because the next hour brings even more intense challenges. The sun is up, but the danger hasn't faded. It's 7:30 a.m., peak rush hour. A report of a multi-vehicle pileup on the main interstate brings officers to a scene of twisted metal and shattered glass. But this was no accident. Witnesses report a driver intentionally ramming cars. As the officer approaches the lead vehicle, the suspect floors it, weaving through stationary traffic. The body cam shows the officer navigating a maze of innocent commuters to stop a madman. It's a high-stakes game of chicken at 70 miles per hour. Segment 14. The Armed Robbery in Progress 1 hour 5 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 10 minutes and 0 seconds. A silent panic alarm trips at a local jewelry store. Units are only 2 blocks away. They arrive just as 3 masked suspects are exiting with bags of high-end watches. It's a standoff on the sidewalk. Drop the bags. Get on the ground. One suspect reaches for a sidearm, but the overwhelming presence of 5 patrol cars makes him rethink his life choices. This segment highlights the importance of rapid response and tactical positioning in a public space where civilians are everywhere. Segment 15. The Mental Health Crisis 1 hour 10 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Not every call requires a weapon. Officers are dispatched to a bridge where a man is standing on the wrong side of the railing. The body cam audio is filled with the sound of rushing wind and distant traffic. For the next 5 minutes, we witness a masterclass in crisis intervention. The officer doesn't use force, he uses his voice. He shares his own stories, building a bridge of trust. This is the quiet bravery of policing, saving a life without ever pulling a trigger. The moment the man reaches back for the officer's hand is the most powerful footage of the hour. Segment 16. The Neighborhood Sting 1 hour 15 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Complaints from a local neighborhood lead to a coordinated drug bust on a suspected trap house. K9 units and SWAT work in tandem to breach the front and back simultaneously. The body cam footage is fast-paced and chaotic as officers clear room after room. We see the discovery of hidden compartments and illegal substances. The residents are confused, but the officers remain focused. This is the gritty work of cleaning up the streets, 1 block at a time. As the suspects are led away in zip ties, the community finally breathes a sigh of relief. A high-stakes call comes in from a downtown hotel. A guest reported seeing a man with a long rifle on a 15th-floor balcony. The area is immediately cordoned off. SWAT teams begin their ascent while officers on the ground manage the panicked crowd. The body cam footage from the stairwell is intense. Heavy gear clanking, muffled tactical whispers, and the steady breath of men moving toward danger. This is a game of inches. When they finally breach the room, they find a scene that isn't what it seems, but the precision of the response shows exactly why these teams train every single day. Segment 18. The Stolen Semi-Truck Pursuit 1 hour 25 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 30 minutes and 0 seconds. A routine traffic stop turns into a massive pursuit when a driver of an 18-wheeler refuses to pull over. This isn't just a car chase, it's an 80,000-pound weapon moving through suburban streets. Officers have to coordinate with multiple jurisdictions to clear the path ahead. The body cam from the lead pursuit vehicle shows the sheer scale of the truck as it crushes curbs and narrow corners. Watch the incredible driving skills of the officers as they stay close enough to monitor but far enough to stay safe. The chase ends in a remote field where the driver finally gives up, realizing there's nowhere left to go. Segment 19. The undercover drug buy, 1 hour 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 35 minutes and 0 seconds. We move to a grainy, covert camera perspective. An undercover detective is meeting a high-level dealer in a secluded parking lot. Every word is a risk. One wrong move and the detective's cover is blown. You can hear the tension in the detective's voice as he negotiates the deal. Suddenly, the signal is given. Go, go, go. Unmarked units swarm from all sides. The suspect attempts to ram his way out, but he's boxed in. This segment highlights the dangerous work of undercover units who live in the shadows to keep the streets clean. Segment 20. The K9 search and rescue, 1 hour 35 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 40 minutes and 0 seconds. A child has gone missing in a dense wooded area near a local park. The sun is starting to set, and temperatures are dropping. Officer Rex and his K9 partner, Duke, are called in for a scent track. The body cam footage shows Duke pulling hard on the lead, nose to the ground. Through thick brush and over fallen logs, the search is relentless. After 20 minutes of searching, Duke lets out a specific bark. They've found him. This is the heart of police work, using every resource available to bring someone home safe. As the child is reunited with his parents, the officers prepare for their next call. A suspicious vehicle is spotted near the city's industrial docks. When officers approach, the driver rolls up the windows and refuses to communicate. Through the glass, a firearm is visible on the passenger seat. For the next 5 minutes, the body cam captures a tense standoff. Marine units are called in to secure the water side, while patrol cars create a perimeter on land. The suspect is erratic, revving the engine. We don't want this to end badly, just talk to us. Officer Miller uses a loudspeaker to maintain a calm but firm dialogue. The moment the suspect finally unlocks the door is a masterclass in tactical patience. Segment 22. The high-speed foot chase, 1 hour 45 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 50 minutes and 0 seconds. A routine patrol in a high-crime area turns into a sprint. A suspect drops a backpack and takes off running through a maze of backyards and over chain-link fences. The body cam footage is shaky and raw, capturing the officer's heavy breathing and the sound of boots hitting the pavement. This isn't just about speed, it's about endurance. The officer has to keep eyes on the suspect while communicating their location to dispatch. The chase ends in a narrow crawl space where the suspect realizes he has nowhere left to turn. This is the physical reality of the job, seconds of sprinting that feel like hours. Segment 23. The fraud ring bust, 1 hour 50 minutes and 0 seconds to 1 hour 55 minutes and 0 seconds. White-collar crime meets street-level enforcement. Detectives have been tracking a sophisticated identity theft ring operating out of a suburban house. The warrant is served at dawn. This isn't a violent breach, but it's high stakes. Officers discover a room filled with high-end printers, hundreds of fake IDs, and stolen mail. The body cam shows the meticulous process of logging evidence and securing digital data. It's a reminder that modern policing happens just as much on a computer screen as it does on the street. The suspects are calm, but the evidence against them is overwhelming. Segment 24. The second hour conclusion, 1 hour 55 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. As the second hour of our 6-hour archive comes to a close, we reflect on the diversity of the calls we've seen. From high-speed chases to quiet negotiations, and from violent standoffs to complex fraud investigations. The common thread is the thin blue line, the officers who step into the unknown every single day. We see a brief moment of camaraderie at the precinct as officers grab a quick coffee before heading back out. But don't go anywhere. The third hour brings even more challenging cases, including a specialized SWAT operation that redefined tactical response. Stay tuned as we continue this deep dive into raw justice. The third hour opens with a high-risk warrant service. A suspected arms dealer has barricaded himself inside a fortified residence. SWAT has been called in to handle the breach. The body cam footage is tactical and precise. Watch the use of the Bearcat armored vehicle as it approaches the front door. Police. Search warrant. A flashbang is deployed, followed by a coordinated entry through multiple points. The interior is a maze of booby traps and cameras, but the team moves like a single machine. This is the peak of law enforcement training, where every second is calculated to ensure the safety of the team and the public. Segment 26. The highway sniper arrest, 2 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds. A series of random shots fired at moving vehicles on the interstate has the city on edge. After hours of surveillance, a suspect vehicle is spotted at a rest stop. Officers move in silently, cutting off all exit routes. The body cam shows the tension as they approach the vehicle with ballistic shields. The suspect is found with a long-range rifle and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. He doesn't go quietly. This segment captures the intense struggle to remove him from the vehicle without incident. It's a chilling look at a tragedy that was stopped just in time. Segment 27. The high-rise crisis, 2 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. A call from a luxury penthouse reports a domestic situation that has turned into a barricade. A man is holding his own family at gunpoint. Officers have to navigate the elevators and hallways of a skyscraper while keeping their movements hidden. The body cam audio captures the distant sound of a child crying inside the unit. Officer Sanchez, a veteran negotiator, stands outside the heavy oak door. His voice is calm, steady, and hypnotic. Think about your kids, man. Just put the weapon down. The psychological battle lasts for nearly 10 minutes before the door finally clicks open. Segment 28. The industrial raid, 2 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Following a month-long investigation, a task force raids a large-scale illegal gambling den hidden inside a textile factory. The entry is massive, dozens of officers pouring in through loading docks and side entrances. The body cam footage shows a sea of people scrambling as the lights go up. Officers have to quickly secure the perimeter and identify the primary targets. Amidst the chaos, they discover a hidden vault containing illegal ledgers and vast amounts of cash. This is the logistical side of policing, managing a large scene with dozens of detainees while preserving a massive amount of evidence. A routine patrol through a narrow urban alleyway turns into a nightmare. As the officer's cruiser turns the corner, they are met with a barrage of bricks and debris. It's an ambush. The body cam footage is chaotic as the officer reverses while under fire from unseen subjects on the rooftops. Backup is called, and a perimeter is set within minutes. Watch how the department uses drone technology to get eyes on the roof without risking more lives. This segment highlights the shifting dangers of patrolling high-tension neighborhoods and the importance of quick tactical retreats. Segment 30. The stolen exotic car chase, 2 hours 25 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. High performance meets high danger. A stolen Lamborghini is spotted tearing through the downtown core. The suspect is driving with a complete disregard for life, hitting speeds of 130 miles per hour on city streets. The body cam from the pursuing unit shows the sheer difficulty of keeping up with a supercar. He's weaving through traffic. Clear the intersections. The chase eventually ends when the suspect loses a tire on a curb, sending the car into a spin. The takedown is fast and aggressive, ensuring the suspect doesn't have a second chance to flee. Segment 31. The Harbor Patrol raid, 2 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds. The action moves to the water. Marine units receive a tip about a drug offload happening at a private pier. The body cam footage is dark and grainy, showing the view from a tactical boat as it glides silently through the harbor. Suddenly, the searchlights go on. Police, stop the boat. A short pursuit on the water ensues before the suspects are boxed in by multiple vessels. Officers have to board the suspect's boat while it's still moving, a dangerous maneuver that requires perfect balance and timing. This is the front line of maritime law enforcement. Segment 32. The subway system hunt, 2 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 40 minutes and 0 seconds. A suspect wanted for a violent assault disappears into the city's sprawling subway network. Officers descend into the tunnels, flashlights cutting through the darkness. The body cam audio is filled with the rhythmic hum of distant trains and the dripping of water. Every alcove and maintenance room is a potential hiding spot. It's a claustrophobic hunt. When the suspect is finally spotted on the tracks, the tension spikes as officers have to coordinate with transit authority to shut down the third rail. This is policing in the city's underground veins, dark, damp, and incredibly risky. A report of copper thieves leads officers to an abandoned psychiatric hospital at the edge of town. The building is a crumbling labyrinth of dark hallways and shattered glass. The body cam footage looks like a scene from a horror movie. Officers move in pairs, their flashlights the only source of light. Police K9, make yourself known. Every shadow seems to move. Suddenly, a loud crash from the third floor sends the team into high alert. They find 3 suspects attempting to hide in an old elevator shaft. The echo of the handcuffs clicking shut is the only sound in the hollow building. Segment 34. The high-speed pit on the bridge, 2 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds. A pursuit that started in the city reaches the main suspension bridge. The suspect is driving on rims, sparks flying everywhere. With the bridge's narrow lanes and high railings, a pit maneuver is extremely risky. Watch the lead officer coordinate with the backup units to block oncoming traffic. At 60 miles per hour, the officer finds the window. A sharp nudge to the rear quarter panel sends the suspect's car spinning into the concrete barrier. It's a violent stop, but it prevents the suspect from reaching the crowded suburbs on the other side. This is precision driving under extreme pressure. Segment 35. The bank perimeter standoff, 2 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds to 2 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. We move to a high noon standoff. A bank robbery has gone wrong, and the suspects are trapped inside the lobby with several customers. Officers have set up a 360-degree perimeter. The body cam shows officers positioned behind car doors and stone pillars, rifles trained on the glass entrance. You can hear the heavy breathing of the officers as they wait for the tactical team. Every time the door budges, the tension skyrockets. This segment highlights the wait and watch reality of policing, where doing nothing is often more difficult than taking action. Segment 36. 3 hours down, 2 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. We have reached the halfway point of our 6-hour documentary. In the last 3 hours, we have seen the best and worst of the human condition. From life-saving rescues to violent confrontations, the body cam has captured it all. As the clock hits the 3-hour mark, we take a moment to look at the statistics, the thousands of calls answered and the countless lives protected. But the night is far from over. In the next hour, we will witness a massive multi-agency raid and a car chase that spans 3 counties. Stay with us as we continue to cross the thin blue line. The 4th hour of our archive begins with a pursuit that has already crossed 3 county lines. The suspect, driving a stolen heavy-duty pickup truck, has evaded dozens of spike strips. The body cam from the new lead unit shows the exhaustion of the officers who have been in this chase for over 40 minutes. Helicopter footage is patched into the radio comms, guiding the ground units through rural backroads. The suspect is trying to reach the state border, thinking the pursuit will end there. But as we see, coordination between state troopers and local police makes the border a trap, not an escape. Segment 38. The meth lab raid, 3 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds. Action shifts to a remote farmhouse. Intelligence suggests it's a high-output narcotics lab. Because of the volatile chemicals involved, officers must wear specialized protective gear over their tactical vests. The body cam footage is eerie, muffled breathing through gas masks and the hiss of oxygen tanks. The breach is explosive. As officers enter, the smell of chemicals is almost visible in the air. They have to secure the suspects while ensuring a spark doesn't level the entire building. It's a dangerous combination of tactical entry and hazardous material management. Segment 39. The foot pursuit in the rain, 3 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. A heavy downpour hasn't stopped the crime, nor has it stopped the chase. An officer is in pursuit of a suspect through a flooded construction site. The body cam is covered in water droplets, blurring the neon city lights in the background. You can hear the splashing of boots and the officer's heavy, wet breathing. The suspect slips on a muddy embankment, and the officer is on him in seconds. The struggle in the mud is raw and visceral. It's a reminder that police work doesn't stop for the weather, it only gets more difficult. Segment 40. The rooftop negotiation, 3 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 20 minutes and 0 seconds. We move to the top of a parking garage. A man is sitting on the edge, clutching a bag and looking down at the street below. He's not a criminal in the traditional sense, he's someone who has lost everything. Officer Miller, who we saw earlier, is called back to the scene. He sits down on the concrete, 5 feet away from the man. For the next 5 minutes, the body cam captures a quiet, heartbreaking conversation about life, failure, and hope. This is the human side of the badge, the ability to sit in the rain and just listen. The segment ends as the man finally stands up and moves away from the edge. In one of the most bizarre calls of the year, a suspect has managed to hijack an empty city transit bus. The sheer size of the vehicle makes it a rolling fortress. Officers are forced to keep a significant distance to avoid being crushed. The body cam from a pursuing motorcycle unit shows the bus swerving across 4 lanes of traffic, taking out light poles and street signs. Tactics are being discussed. How do you stop a 30,000-pound vehicle without causing a massive pileup? The answer comes in the form of a coordinated blockade at a narrow bridge entrance. Segment 42. The back alley narcotics sting, 3 hours 25 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. We go undercover once again. A tactical narcotics team is monitoring a high-traffic drug house from a concealed van. The body cam footage is switched to night vision mode, casting the world in a ghostly green. Watch as the go command is given. Within seconds, dozens of officers swarm the back entrance. The suspects are caught in the middle of a transaction. Money and baggies are scattered across the floor. This segment highlights the speed and surprise necessary to prevent suspects from destroying evidence or reaching for concealed weapons. Segment 43. The hostage in the high-rise, 3 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds. Back to the city's skyline. A domestic dispute in a luxury condo has escalated into a hostage situation. A man is holding a family member at knife point. Officers are positioned behind the kitchen island, weapons drawn but holding fire. The body cam captures the intense negotiation. Look at me, focus on my voice. Officer Williams uses every ounce of his training to keep the suspect calm. One wrong move, one loud noise, and the situation could turn fatal. After minutes of agonizing tension, the suspect drops the knife. The relief in the room is palpable. Segment 44. The midnight foot chase in the junkyard, 3 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 40 minutes and 0 seconds. The final segment of this part takes us to a sprawling industrial junkyard. A suspect wanted for felony assault has disappeared into a sea of crushed cars and rusted metal. It's a tactical nightmare, thousands of hiding spots and sharp edges. Officers move with K9 units, their flashlights creating long, dancing shadows. The bodycam audio is filled with the sound of metal clanging and dogs barking. Suddenly, the K9 locks onto a scent under an old trailer. The suspect is flushed out and apprehended after a short, violent struggle. This is the grit and grime of the night shift. The most terrifying call any officer can receive, a wrong-way driver on a major freeway. It's 2 a.m., and a sedan is heading north in the southbound lanes at 80 miles per hour. Officer Henderson is the first to intercept. The body cam shows his heart-stopping decision to drive onto the shoulder and pace the suspect. He's not stopping, he's not even looking. Henderson has to make a split-second choice. Let him continue into oncoming traffic, or use his own patrol car to stop the threat. Watch the high-speed impact as Henderson courageously rams the suspect's vehicle into the median, saving countless lives at the cost of his own cruiser. Segment 46. The warehouse fire investigation, 3 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds. A massive fire breaks out at a storage facility, and initial reports suggest it was arson. Officers are on the scene not just to manage traffic, but to hunt for a suspect seen fleeing the back gate. The body cam footage is dominated by the orange glow of the flames and the deafening roar of the fire. Through the thick black smoke, an officer spots a silhouette. The chase leads through a maze of burning debris. This is a dual battle, fighting the heat and chasing a criminal. The suspect is finally tackled just as a portion of the roof collapses behind them. It's a narrow escape captured in raw, high-definition detail. Segment 47. The silent alarm at the pharmacy, 3 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds to 3 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. A silent alarm trips at a local pharmacy. Units arrive and find the front door shattered. They enter into a pitch-black store, moving slowly past aisles of medicine. The body cam shows the tactical, slice the pie, technique as they clear every corner. Suddenly, a noise from the back office. 2 suspects are caught red-handed, bags filled with controlled substances. They attempt to bolt through the pharmacy's drive-through window. The struggle is confined and intense. This segment highlights the precision needed in tight spaces where every movement must be calculated. Segment 48. 4 hours of reality, 3 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. As we cross the 4-hour mark of this documentary, the weight of the job becomes visible on the faces of the officers. We see a montage of the incidents from the last 60 minutes, the crashes, the chases, and the arrests. But the radio never stays silent for long. A new report of an armed robbery in progress is already coming through the dispatch. The cycle of duty continues, unyielding and relentless. We are entering the home stretch of our 6-hour journey. The next hour will focus on the elite air support units and the eye in the sky that changes the game of police pursuits. Stay with us. The 5th hour begins with a shift in perspective. High above the city, the air support unit, code name Eagle 1, is tracking a suspect who has managed to outrun ground units in a stolen sports car. The body cam from the tactical flight officer shows the infrared camera locking onto the heat signature of the vehicle. Through the radio, we hear the calm coordination. He's turning south on Broadway, ground units be advised. The suspect thinks he's safe because he can't hear the sirens anymore, but he doesn't realize he's being watched from thousands of feet up. This is the ultimate, eye in the sky, that makes escape nearly impossible. Segment 50. The swamp search, 4 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds. The chase moves from the city streets to the outskirts, where the suspect abandons the car and flees into a dense, marshy swamp. Ground officers arrive and form a perimeter, but the terrain is treacherous. The body cam footage shows officers waist-deep in water, flashlights reflecting off the murky surface. It's a slow, methodical search. Watch for movement in the tall grass. Suddenly, the helicopter's thermal camera spots the suspect trying to submerge himself to hide his heat. The ground units are guided directly to him. This segment shows the incredible teamwork between air and ground units. Segment 51. The high-speed pit at dawn, 4 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. As the first light of dawn breaks, a high-speed pursuit on the rural highway reaches its climax. The suspect is driving erratically, threatening to hit oncoming morning commuters. The lead officer gets the authorization for a high-speed pit maneuver. The body cam captures the intense focus as the officer pulls alongside the suspect's rear bumper at 75 miles per hour. One sharp steer, and the car is sent into a series of rolls. Officers swarm the wreckage, fire extinguishers in hand. It's a violent but necessary end to a pursuit that could have ended in a far worse tragedy. Segment 52. The morning briefing, 4 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Back at the precinct, the shift is changing once again. We see a rare look inside the morning briefing room. Officers are being briefed on the suspects still at large in the high crime areas that need extra attention today. The body cam captures the camaraderie, the small jokes and the steady coffee drinking, before they head out into the unknown. It's a moment of calm before the storm of a new day. But as we see, a call for an officer needs assistance suddenly cuts through the briefing, and everyone is out the door in seconds. Duty never waits for the briefing to end. A high-performance motorcycle is reported stolen and spotted weaving through dense morning traffic. This is a nightmare for patrol cars. The suspect is using the bike's agility to slip between lanes, hitting speeds that make ground pursuit almost impossible. The body cam from a pursuing officer captures the sheer frustration in the high-speed visuals as the bike disappears and reappears in the distance. The chase only ends when the suspect makes a fatal tactical error, entering a dead-end parking garage. He's cornered, and the sound of the bike's engine dying signifies the end of the road. Segment 54. The K9 Urban Track, 4 hours 25 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. A suspect wanted for a violent robbery has fled into a residential neighborhood, hopping fences and disappearing into backyards. Officer Jax and his K9 partner, Coda, are called in to lead the track. The body cam is mounted on the officer's chest, showing the powerful K9 pulling with incredible force. Coda is locked onto a scent. We see the duo navigate through narrow garden gates and over wooden fences. Suddenly, Coda stops at a shed and lets out a deep, aggressive bark. The suspect is found huddled under a tarp. This is the raw efficiency of a trained K9 unit in action. Segment 55. The Interstate Pit Maneuver, 4 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds. The action shifts back to the wide-open interstate. A vehicle involved in a drive-by shooting is fleeing at 110 miles per hour. 3 patrol units are in A, V formation, to contain the suspect. The authorization for a pit maneuver is given as the road clears of civilian traffic. The body cam from the lead car shows the officer slowly closing the gap. In a split second, the officer nudges the suspect's rear wheel. The car spins 3 times before slamming into the grass median. Officers exit with weapons drawn, the air filled with the smell of burning rubber and adrenaline. Segment 56. The high-rise perimeter, 4 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 40 minutes and 0 seconds. A call comes in from a luxury apartment building. A resident reports a man with a weapon in the lobby. Officers arrive and immediately set up a 360-degree perimeter. The body cam shows the strategic placement of officers behind pillars and planters. Every entrance is covered. The tension is high as they wait for the tactical team to arrive with ballistic shields. The suspect is eventually seen through the glass doors, pacing back and forth. This segment highlights the containment phase of policing, where holding a position is just as important as moving forward. The situation is resolved when the suspect surrenders after seeing the overwhelming force outside. The intensity reaches a breaking point in an industrial park on the city's outskirts. Officers responding to a burglary call are met with immediate gunfire. The body cam footage is harrowing. The officer dives behind a brick wall as bullets strike the pavement inches away. Shots fired. Officer pinned down. You can hear the rapid breathing and the metallic click of a magazine reload. This is a high-stakes firefight where every second counts. Backup arrives with tactical shields, creating a moving wall of protection to extract the pinned officer. This segment shows the incredible courage required to stand ground under fire. Segment 58. The stolen armored truck, 4 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds. In a scene straight out of an action movie, a suspect has managed to hijack an armored cash transport vehicle. This is a rolling tank, nearly immune to standard pit maneuvers. The body cam from a pursuing unit shows the officer's frustration as the heavy truck plows through a police blockade like it's made of cardboard. Officers have to coordinate with a specialized heavy recovery unit to bring the beast to a halt. The chase ends when the truck's tires are finally shredded by heavy-duty spike strips, forcing the suspect into a final, desperate standoff inside the steel cabin. Segment 59. The Riverbank Rescue, 4 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds to 4 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. A suspect flees a foot pursuit by jumping into a fast-moving river. But the current is stronger than he anticipated. Within minutes, the pursuit turns into a rescue mission. The body cam captures the officer stripping off his heavy-duty belt and vest, preparing to go in. Stay with me. Grab the rope. It's a race against hypothermia and the jagged rocks downstream. The officer manages to throw a lifeline just in time. This is the duality of the job. One moment you are chasing a criminal, the next you are risking your life to save theirs. The suspect is pulled to safety, shivering and defeated. Segment 60. Crossing the 5-hour mark, 4 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. As we cross the 5-hour mark of our 6-hour archive, we take a moment to breathe. We have witnessed 300 minutes of the most intense, raw, and unfiltered law enforcement footage ever recorded. We see a montage of the heroism and the chaos from the last hour. But don't turn away now. We are entering the final hour, the graveyard shift. The darkest hour where the most dangerous calls are yet to come. We will conclude this journey with a massive tactical operation that took months to plan. The end is near, but the action is just getting started. We enter the final hour. It's the dead of night, the time when only the desperate and the dangerous are awake. The body cam shows a lone patrol car moving through the fog-covered streets of the warehouse district. The silence is deafening. Suddenly, a flash of movement in an alleyway. An officer exits his vehicle, his flashlight cutting through the mist. He finds a door pried open at a high-security electronics facility. This is the moment of maximum vulnerability, entering a dark, silent building where an intruder could be anywhere. The tension in the officer's steady breathing tells the whole story. Segment 62. The high-speed, blackout, pursuit 5 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds. A suspect attempting to evade capture turns off his headlights while driving at 90 miles per hour on a pitch-black rural road. This is a blackout pursuit, incredibly dangerous for both the officer and the suspect. The body cam footage is grainy, lit only by the faint glow of the police dashboard. I can't see him, he's running dark. The officer has to rely on his training and the faint reflection of his own high beams on the suspect's bumper. The chase ends when the suspect misjudges a curve and flies into a cornfield. The dust cloud in the headlights looks like a scene from another world. Segment 63. The rooftop sniper deployment 5 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Action shifts to a tactical operation involving a barricaded suspect in a downtown hotel. We see the perspective of a tactical observer or sniper team being deployed to a neighboring rooftop. The body cam captures the heavy equipment being hauled up service ladders and the silent communication via hand signals. Through the long-range lens, we see the suspect pacing inside the room with a weapon. This segment highlights the patience and precision of the tactical units who wait for hours for a single second of action. It's a cold, calculated side of policing where focus is everything. Segment 64. The K9 inches hard surface. Track 5 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 20 minutes and 0 seconds. A suspect has fled a crime scene on foot, running across miles of concrete and asphalt, the hardest surface for a dog to track. But K9 Feet Nitro is a specialist. The body cam shows Nitro's nose glued to the pavement, weaving through a shopping center's parking lot. The officer is sprinting to keep up. Nitro leads the team to a loading dock where a semi-truck is idling. The suspect is found hiding inside the wind deflector on top of the truck's cab. It's a brilliant display of AK-9's sensory power over human evasion. The suspect is taken into custody without further incident. A call that every officer dreads. Reports of an active shooter in a suburban office park. The body cam footage is frantic as multiple units arrive simultaneously. Officers don't wait for SWAT. They form active shooter elements and push directly toward the sound of gunfire. You can hear the fire alarms blaring and the terrified shouts of employees. The movement is swift and tactical. This segment shows the raw reality of modern policing, where the duty to protect innocent lives outweighs the instinct for self-preservation. The suspect is neutralized in a hallway, ending the threat within minutes. Segment 66. The high-speed bridge collision 5 hours 25 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. A pursuit of a violent felon reaches a catastrophic end on a narrow river bridge. The suspect attempts to ram a police blockade, resulting in a high-speed collision that leaves both vehicles smoking. The body cam footage captures the immediate aftermath, airbags deployed, the smell of gunpowder and coolant, and the dazed silence before the shouting starts. Officers have to extract their injured partner while keeping their weapons trained on the suspect's wreckage. It's a chaotic scene of rescue and tactical arrest happening in the middle of a bridge, hundreds of feet above the water. Segment 67. The narcotics vault breach 5 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds. Following a 6-month investigation, a task force raids a fortified distribution hub. The target is a reinforced steel door in a basement. Watch as the breaching team uses a hooligan tool and a heavy ram. It takes 5 massive hits to break the lock. The body cam footage inside is a whirlwind of movement. Officers find a room filled with high-purity narcotics and a mountain of cash. But the real discovery is a hidden room with dozens of monitors showing the entire neighborhood. The suspects were watching the police as they approached. This highlights the sophisticated technology used by modern criminal organizations. Segment 68. The standoff in the rain 5 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 40 minutes and 0 seconds. The weather has turned, and a heavy thunderstorm is drenching the city. In a residential driveway, an armed man is threatening to harm himself. The body cam is blurred by the rain, and the flashing blue lights reflect off the flooded pavement. For 5 agonizing minutes, we listen to a veteran sergeant talk the man down. It's just water, man. We're both wet. Let's go inside and figure this out. The rain adds a layer of misery to an already tense situation. The segment ends with the suspect dropping his weapon and collapsing into the officer's arms, overwhelmed by emotion. The final hour's tension peaks on the open highway. A suspect in a high-powered muscle car is making a final run for the state line. He's already evaded 3 spike strips. The body cam from the state trooper shows the car's speedometer hitting 140 miles per hour. "I'm moving in for the pit," the trooper announces. It's a high-risk maneuver at this speed. The contact is perfect. The suspect's car pirouettes across the lanes, coming to a halt in a cloud of dust and debris. Within seconds, a dozen officers surround the vehicle. The chase that spanned 2 hours is finally over. Segment 70. The hostage rescue success, 5 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds. We move to a quiet residential street where a SWAT team has been in position for hours. A kidnapped victim is being held inside a basement. The go order is given. The body cam footage is a blur of black uniforms and suppressed rifles. They breach through a window. Police, don't move. The suspect is tackled before he can reach for his weapon. The most powerful moment is the body cam capturing the victim's face, the transition from pure terror to the realization that they are finally safe. This is why they wear the badge. Segment 71. The morning Sunday, 5 hours 50 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. As the clock hits 5:50 a.m., the first rays of the sun begin to break over the city skyline. The night shift is finally coming to an end. The body cam shows officers returning to their cruisers, their uniforms stained with sweat, rain, and dirt. We see them checking in on each other, a simple, "You good?" or a nod of the head. It's a quiet moment of reflection on the chaos they've survived tonight. The radio chatter slows down, transitioning from emergency calls to routine reports. The city is waking up, unaware of the battles fought while it slept. Segment 72. The 6-hour conclusion, 5 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds to 6 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. We have reached the end of our 6-hour journey through the raw reality of law enforcement. From high-speed pursuits and tactical raids to the quiet moments of crisis intervention, we have seen it all. 360 minutes of real-life drama, captured on the front lines. As the officers sign off their shift and head home to their families, the cycle begins again for the next crew. This archive stands as a testament to the thin blue line that holds the chaos at bay. Thank you for riding along. This is the end of the watch. Stay safe out there.